This relates to the history of your party, which started in 1971. I came and listened to Ed Clark back in 1980 and supported him, voted for him in the election. And the question relates to during your candidacy and prior to that, you were elected to the Congress, and your voice was actually heard during that period of time. I mean, you were actually able to vote, excuse me, able to vote and make a decision. If you're not elected, and if members of your party are not elected, then that voice is not heard. Why would these people here, myself or anyone else, try to get involved in that political process where the odds are greatly enhanced if they get involved in a political party where if they are elected, their voice will be heard?
I don't think their voice will be heard, and I think their vote will be wasted, because there is no difference between the two parties. They both endorse the philosophy of intervention. And no matter whether you vote for the conservative or the liberal, if you vote for the conservative to reduce deficit, it doesn't happen. Or if you vote for the liberal to decrease the chances of a war, that won't happen either. So they're wasting their votes. So therefore, their only option is to join us and work in our efforts until we are elected.
The parties right now, you're correct. I don't see a lot of difference in a lot of those members. But your party itself has members like yourself and Russell Means. If people that, as far as the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, if I have a libertarian attitude, which I do, and I'm a member of a political party, it seems to me if I am elected to a state legislature or whatever political process I would be in, that it would be greatly enhanced.
Well,
that's my point.
If that is your point, that if you say that you might be considering running for office and you have very libertarian views, does that mean that your only option would be to come and join the Libertarian Party? I think I have to be realistic, because I've done both, and I ran as a Republican with libertarian views and hopefully had some positive influence and a positive impact. And yet the decision I made was a personal one, which is important. So if somebody else, if they're believing the same thing and they're going to go about it a different way, I'm not going to have a lot of strong criticism, especially if they're successful. But my reason for changing was historical, in the sense that I believe in looking at monetary history, since I've studied a lot of monetary history, is that big things are about to happen. And therefore, I don't want to, I could have stayed in the U.S. Congress as a Republican, but I wanted to make more points and to deliver the message differently. I want to have more of an impact. It doesn't mean that that individual who has libertarian views that would run and get elected, I cannot be critical of that, but I think the real impact has to be, especially for me, to say that the message of freedom, the message of liberty, has to be delivered to the American people in a different way than through the Republican Party.